Once we are attracted to the Nama, then we can go to the Guna, Rupa and Leela. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that who can chant always? What he says in Shishtashtakam prayers. Who can do Kirtaniya Sadahari? Somebody who is very humble. So if we are humble, then we will get attracted towards chanting the holy name. Also, in Bhagavad Gita, in describing the process of knowledge, what is the first quality that Krishna gives? Humility. So once we develop humility, so it's not only that we get attracted to Krishna's name, Krishna will also get attracted to our humility. So as I said, we all are searching for not dharma, artha, kama, moksha. We are looking for prema. So that means that if prema is there, then Krishna should also feel attracted to us also. The first and foremost thing is that once we have a humility, we will feel attracted to chanting the holy name, and that humility will also attract Krishna, and it will be a two-way attraction, not just one way. As we said in the previous discussion, we saw the meaning of Gaura Arati. We went through purpose, why Krishna appeared in the world. We saw about brief life history of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And in the verse 1, basically we saw how what is being discussed is where the arati is happening, who the arati is being performed for it, and what is the effect of the arati that is happening. So that was in the verse 1. In the verse 2, we saw who are the intimate associates of Lord Chaitanya performing or staying close to him when doing the arati. And we saw the Panchatattva aspects, right? Again, I didn't do it justice in terms of explaining each of the Panchatattvas. As I said, it is the topic on its own. Each personality can be discussed multiple days, actually. So that was verse 2, talks about who are the intimate associates of Lord Chaitanya, and verse 3 talked about how Brahma got the privilege of doing the arati. So, and we also saw that all the demigods are very anxious to come and perform arati, seek or they are waiting to come to the earthly planet to take a human form so that they can get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So that's where we ended our discussion, and we are getting started with the fourth verse, where Krishna's further associates are discussed about. So with that, we will get started the fourth verse, and while reciting the fourth verse, we will also recite the first refrain, and we'll talk about what is refrain. For this Gaura Arati, there are multiple refrains, but Prabhupada has approved only 2 refrains. And refrains is something where you can sing in the Arati, or while recitation or while singing, you can sing after any of the verses. So this is the first refrain that we will also sing along with this fourth verse discussion today. Okay? So maybe we all can chant together. Kibanara adikuri Chamaradulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Goshadigaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Goshadigaya Gaurangi Arati Kishobha Jagajanamana Loba Gaurangere Arati Kishobha Jagajanamana Loba. So in the verse 4, further the Lord's associates are being mentioned. So, anybody knows what this picture represent? This is
wish fulfilling desire tree.
This is wish fulfilling desire tree, but this is called as Chaitanya tree.
Chaitanya tree.
So this is Adi Lila 10th chapter, where Chaitanya being the tree, that his trunks, branches, and everything has been discussed actually. So we are going to see there are 4 personality names have been mentioned. Narahari Sarkar, he is the 40th branch, and Sanjaya Pandit, 34th, and Mukunda Datta and Vasudev Ghosh. We will see each of their personalities. We will see what were their sweet pastimes with the Lord, what are their spiritual identity in the spiritual, what are their identities in the spiritual world actually. So we will get started with Narahari Sarkar. So before get started, in this chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj says that though he is going to mention the branches actually, right? So one should not feel that okay, you are in the higher branch, you are not a great devotee. If you are in the very single digit branch, you are a great devotee. No. So that's the caution that Kaviraj, Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami talks about before he start discussing about the Chaitanya tree. Now, as you can see in the tree, like any tree, you have the trunk, which is basically the first sprouts that comes out and through which all the branches sprout, right, come out. So Lord Chaitanya is being the main trunk, and then we saw the other 4 branches, we saw all the Panchatattwas, right? We can see Advaita Acharya, Nityanand Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit, and also Srivas Pandit were also there in that.
So he's both, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is both trunk and also root.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, because without the root, the tree or plant is not going to grow. Okay. So, as we discussed, we are talking about Narahari Sarkar. So, whenever we talk about Narahari Sarkar, we also talk about 2 more personalities. One is Mukunda, another is Raghunandan. They both were father and son. But Mahaprabhu used to ask who is father, who is son. We'll talk about it. I think you all know about Raghunandan Thakur, who forced the Lord to eat, right? Because his father told him to offer in a way that Lord can really consume the bhoga. So they were from a place called as Srikhanda, and it is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita that they were the big branches of all merciful tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they distributed the fruits and flowers of love of Godhead everywhere and anywhere. Narahari Sarkar was born in the family of physician. His father was Narayan Das, his elder brother was Mukunda Das, and his son was Raghunandan. It is said that Narahari Sarkar and Gadadhar Pandit were very close, or very dear to Lord Chaitanya. And Lochan Das Thakur, who wrote Chaitanya Mangal, was his disciple, Narahari Sarkar's disciple. Again, this is all references you can find in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Whatever I'm speaking, it is all coming straight from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and references can be provided for that. And we will see that Mahaprabhu gave 3 different instructions to 3 different people. Like, who are the 3 people? When we talked about Narahari Sarkar, who are the other 2? Raghunandan, and who is the other one? Raghunandan's father is Mukunda. So Lord Chaitanya gave instruction to 3 of them, and 3 of the different, they all received 3 different instructions. So he said to Mukunda to earn the money and by following the religious principle. Narahari Sarkar was instructed to stay with the devotees. Basically, he stayed with Mahaprabhu in Puri and served the devotees. And Raghunandan was instructed to pioneer in deity worship. So Prabhupada says in the purport that all these instructions are very important, because one was given the aspect of earning the money, other was given the aspect of worshipping in the temple, other was given the aspect of preaching. And all the three may look different, but they are one and similar in the Krishna consciousness. Um, and what is the service that Narari Sarkar doing here in this Gaura Arati? Chamararulaya. So his personal service was to fan the Lord. So Narari Sarkar's personal service is to fan the Lord, and he is a very intimate friend of Srimati Radharani, known by the name Madhumati. So that is the identity of Narahari Sarkar. Now Sanjaya Pandit, we have very less description about Sanjaya Pandit, and also some of the informations are because there are multiple biographies of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Charitamrita is the pioneer, and Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Bhagavat. So some of the information about Sanjaya Pandit may not be uniform across. So Sanjaya Pandit is the 34th branch, and Sanjaya Pandit along with Purushottam Pandit, they were both disciples of Lord Chaitanya while they were learning Sanskrit, and they were the inhabitants of Navadip, and they were the first to participate in Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement that started in Navadip. They were one among the first devotees who joined Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. There is also mention that there is some relationship of Sanjaya Pandit to Dhananjaya Pandit, but again this may be not clearly given. And whenever the Bengal devotees used to come to Puri to meet Mahaprabhu, he is one among them who used to come along with all the Gaudiya devotees who used to come to Jagannath Puri to meet Lord Chaitanya. So this is about Sanjaya Pandit. Now Mukunda Datta. Again, Mukunda Datta is of is the same peer like Mahaprabhu, because in terms of age, they were both class friends. They used to study together, and he is the 18th branch in this Chaitanya tree. And Mukunda Datta had another brother called Vasudeva Datta. And it is said that they both were the great singers in the society of Mahaprabhu. So what you will see here, right? Narari Sarkar is doing Chamara. Now, what the others, like starting Mukunda Datta, Vasudeva, they are all singing the Kirtan. That's what it says in the translation, right? If you see the fourth verse. So, as a classmate, Mukunda Datta and Mahaprabhu or Nimai Pandit, they used to argue a lot. What is that? Just for as a friend, right? They used to have a lot of discussions, enter into logical arguments. That's what they did. We talked about God Ganadesh Deepika, which compares the personalities who were in Chaitanya Leela to personalities who were there in Krishna Leela, or their eternal Swarupa. So it is mentioned in God Ganadesh Deepika that Mukunda Datta was Madhumati? No. Narahari Sarkar was Madhumati, okay. I'll find it out. So, yeah. So they were great singers. Okay, Mukunda Datta was known as Madhukanta, and his brother Vasudeva Datta was known as Madhuvrata. So they had their spiritual identities. They were again very great singers even in Vraja. Even in Vrindavan, when Lord Krishna used to perform pastimes, they both used to sing very nicely. And they both have now incarnated in the Chaitanya Leela as Mukunda Datta and Vasudeva Datta, who were earlier Madhukanta and Madhuvrata. Now, when Mahaprabhu went to Gaya and came back, and he met all the Mayavadis and things like that. So when he returned back to Navadip, Mukunda Datta was the one who gave pleasure to Mahaprabhu by reciting verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, especially Canto 10 Krishna Leela. And we also know how by Mukunda Datta's endeavor, Gadadhar Pandit got connected with his guru Pundrik Vidyanidhi. We saw in the last discussion who was the guru of Gadadhar Pandit, Pundrik Vidyanidhi, and what is the spiritual identity of Pundrik Vidyanidhi? Vrishabhanu Maharaj, and Gadadhar Pandit was Srimati Radharani. And when the first kirtan used to happen, initial kirtan used to happen in Shiva's Prabhu's home, where Mahaprabhu used to dance, Mukunda Datta is the one who inaugurated the kirtan by singing the Mahamantra or the holy name. Also, you can see how Mahaprabhu is close with Mukunda Datta is that when Mahaprabhu was about to take sannyas, he didn't even tell any of his mother and his wife, and he left. But he went straight to Mukunda Datta's home to say that he is going to Katwa to take sannyas. Mukunda Datta tried to request Mahaprabhu not to take sannyas and wait for a few more days to continue his Sankirtan movement. So you can see how there is a close association of Mukunda Datta to Mahaprabhu. Also, when Mahaprabhu took sannyas, when Nityananda Prabhu came from Katwa, he was the first to be informed that Mahaprabhu took sannyas, and then Mukunda Datta was the first one to go to Katwa to perform the kirtan after Mahaprabhu took the sannyas. Also, we can speak multiple pastimes of Mukunda Datta. He was also present when Nityananda Prabhu broke Mahaprabhu's sannyas danda. So, and also he used to participate in all the kirtan that used to happen in Jagannath Puri, where Mahaprabhu used to dance. Right? There were 7 groups or 8 groups, and he is one among the groups. He used to be present. So that is about Mukunda Datta. Now, the fourth personality is Vasudeva Ghosh. He is the 82nd branch, 82nd branch in the, I think my mistake, it is the 84th branch. On the slide there is a mistake, I will correct it. So he is the 84th branch, and whenever Vasudev Ghosh used to sing, both Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu used to dance. And according to Gaura Ganadesh Deepika, Vasudev Ghosh Prabhu had 2 other brothers, Govinda and Madhava. Here we should not get confused with the Vasudeva Datta of Mukunda Datta. He is different. This is Vasudev Ghosh, and he had 2 other brothers, Govinda and Madhava. And in Gaura Ganadesh Deepika it is mentioned that these 3 brothers were previously known as Kalavati, Rasolasa and Gunatunga. So basically the spiritual identity of Vasudeva Ghosh is Gunatunga, who used to recite songs for Vishaka Gopi. And as we mentioned, all these intimate associates of Mahaprabhu will come from Bengal every year to meet Mahaprabhu, participate in the Jagannath Rath Yatra, and they used to perform various kirtans across the different groups. Also, Vasudeva Ghosh got a special instruction from Mahaprabhu that he should stay with Nityananda Prabhu, because we discussed in the last week that Nityananda Prabhu was clearly instructed by Mahaprabhu not to come to Puri every year and stay in Bengal and preach. So Vasudeva Ghosh is also the one other recipient of that mercy, along with Ramdas and Madhav Ghosh, to stay in Bengal and assist Mahaprabhu in preaching. It is said when Vasudeva Ghosh used to do kirtan, even the rocks and stones will melt. So such intense kirtan he used to perform. It is also mentioned that in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Vasudeva Ghosh is the one who requested Mahaprabhu that you liberate all the jivas in this world. And when Mahaprabhu said it is not possible, he said that I am ready to take all their sin and suffer lifetime after lifetime. Let the all the jivas in this world get liberation. So you can look at how much compassionate Vasudev Ghosh was in terms of spreading Mahaprabhu's mission. So we saw that you may wonder that we talked about Chaitanya tree, but what is that for us actually by knowing the associates of Mahaprabhu? Krishna talks also about a tree in Bhagavad Gita. Anyone remembers in which chapter he talks about?
15th chapter.
What is that verse? And what does Krishna say that how do you deal with the tree? Water it more, or what does he say?
So Krishna's
Cut it with what?
Knowledge and detachment.
Knowledge is Ashanga Shastrena Dridena Chitva. Right? This is verse, I think 3 or 4, 15.3 or 4. So you may wonder, like, what has to do with Mahaprabhu tree actually? So, and also if you see that Ashwatha tree, is the tree straight or upside down?
15th chapter.
Maybe in 15th chapter, not in Chaitanya tree, but I'm talking about upside down.
Yeah.
Right? Roots are up. What is nourishing the tree?
So that if you cultivate good qualities.
No. In the 15th chapter, what is nourishing the tree when the upside tree? Huh? Our material desires and modes are nourishing it.
Yeah.
And if you come further, the branch and trunks are various species of the life aquatics, like right, 8.4 million species of that. And we are going from one branch to another, and what we are trying to eat, the fruits that is available to, so that it's like enjoyment, right? That's what we are trying to do, right? Now look at this verse from, I didn't put the reference to Chaitanya Charitamrita, so this is again the 10th chapter, it is there. What is mentioned here is that, right? There also it is mentioned that in the Ashwatha tree, in the 15th chapter, that each leaf is like Vedic hymns. Because why? What is the most thing that is you can see in the tree is the leaf.
Leaves.
What is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita? What are the leaves represent? Obviously, fruits are for our enjoyment.
Yeah.
What is that?
Chandamsi.
Chandamsi, which is Vedic hymns. What the Veda is consisting of? Traigunya Vishaya Veda. What that Veda consists of? Karma Kand, right? You do this, you get this.
Yeah.
For our own enjoyment. But here look at, right, each branch and sub branch of the tree is full of innumerable fruits and flowers. They indentate the world with the water of love of Krishna. So millions of lifetime we have been living in that inverted Ashwatha tree, going from one branch to another branch, eating the fruits, but one who understands the Chaitanya tree, what you are going to get? You are going to get the prema, love of Krishna. So this is what has been mentioned in the 4th verse, where Lord Chaitanya's close associates who are doing the arati. Now you can see here, you can see the person who is in the white holding the chamara is, who is he? Narahari Sarkar. Again, it is hard to tell. There are multiple people or devotees singing here. One is surely Mukunda Datta, Sanjaya Pandit, and also Vashu Ghosh, because Vashu Ghosh is one of the prominent. But all of them were singers, as you saw in the spiritual identity or in the existing Chaitanya Lila. They have some musical talent, and they are the one who is singing the arati, or when Brahma is doing the arati, right? So that's what we saw. Now the refrain. What we saw in the first verse, that Lord Chaitanya is Jagajana Mana Lopa. He's already attracting the hearts and minds of the people within the Navadip, or only in this earthly planet, or the whole universe, where he is attracted. From where Lord Chaitanya is attracting the hearts and minds of?
All the 3 words.
In 3 words. Entire universe, he is capturing the hearts and minds. So this is what again this is mentioned in this refrain. While refraining, because the main purpose of arati is that our hearts and minds should get attracted to the Supreme Lord, and that is what we just keep refraining. Refrain is basically you can keep repeating as long as you want to extend the kirtan or you want to change whatever, right? So you can refrain can be sang multiple times. That when we see this. So with that, we will move to the fifth verse, where it talked about various instruments that are being played. Okay, again we will recite the
So,
fifth.
there are some controls that are blocking the text there.
Really?
See on your screen, if you can close those.
Okay, just give a minute. Oh, Krishna.
But I think it's fine. Online we are not seeing.
Huh?
Yeah, online we are not seeing. It's okay. Stop sharing once, then you can control your screen better.
Huh?
Stop share.
Somehow this is not okay. Stop the share.
Stop share.
Even the stop share is also not with me.
Yeah, but online we are not seeing. We are seeing only here.
Oh, bro, I have to really see.
No, it's fine.
Huh?
Yeah, online we are not seeing.
Okay.
So I think the recorded session also should not have these. It's something to do with the HDMI cable and I don't know.
So these are Zoom controls only, but somehow it is not clickable for me. Somehow when I connect to the HDMI,
yeah.
something is just.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's continue.
Krishna, this is so
Yeah,
bad.
That's okay.
Huh?
Online we are not seeing.
Okay.
It's clear.
Okay, now we will recite the fifth verse together. Kiba shankha baje, ghanta baje, baje karta, madhura mridanga baje, paramarasala, madhura mridanga baje, paramarasala, shankha bhaje, ghanta bhaje, madhur 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 bhaje, shankha bhaje, ghanta bhaje, madhur 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 bhaje. So here the list of instruments that is being used in the arati has been mentioned. And remember that who wrote this arati? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur's spiritual identity is Kamala Manjari. What was his role in the spiritual world? To set standards for the worship. For performing worship, he sets the standard, or she sets the standard, right? Kamala Manjari. So now here the list of instrument that is being played is mentioned: shankha, there is ghanta, which is bell, there is kartal, and there is mridanga. There is one other instrument is missing. We'll talk about it.
Harmonium?
Yeah, the harmonium is missing prominently. So we'll talk about it. So what is first in the list? What is the first instrument that is being played? Shankh, conch. So this happened once in a brahmacharni ashram. As you know, as we have brahmacharya ashram, there is also brahmacharni ashram also, where all the devotees basically have the life of celibacy. And So what happened is that in this brahmacharya ashram, there is one more visiting devotee comes. Usually what happens in the brahmacharya ashram, there are extra spaces, or in the ashram there is space or rooms where visiting devotees can also come and stay, right? So what happened is that one other Mataji also joined this ashram, and the residents of there hardly knew about her, Vishi. And then but that visiting Mataji had a strange behavior, especially in the middle of the night at 12 o'clock. She will howl, she will shout, and she will scream. And all the resident brahmacharni, they used to get scared. "Hey, what is really happening?" And this used to happen for like 12 to 12:15. Every night between 12 to 12:15 for 15 minutes, she will be not in her control. She will be not at all in her control. And then all these resident brahmacharni, they went and discussed with the temple authorities and commanders, and so they said, okay, let's watch tonight what happens actually. So that night, when they were very cautious about like what is going to happen at 12 o'clock, that day 5 minutes before only she started showing her leela. And they all got panicked, and the temple commander or Prabhuji came, and they don't know what to do actually, and she was really out of control. And this Prabhuji suddenly see in the room close by, there is a conch, there is a shank, and he blows. And that visiting Mataji, who was not in her control, in the middle of the night, getting possessed, is completely peaceful after the conch is blown.
Okay.
Any guess? Somebody from our congregation witnessed this. Any guesses? Who is this? Who can be that person?
So, where is this Brahmacharya ashram?
That's right. Okay, I will give you another hint. One say, what is it? Rasavati Mataji. She told this to me 4 or 5 years back. So what is conch? Why that is the first to be blown?
To indicate the beginning or end of something.
That is true. That is in Krishna Lila, because Krishna's friends used to blow the conch to call him to come out of his home. There are many significance, but
what are the evil spirits?
Yeah. What is that, Prabhu?
So what are the evil spirits?
Exactly. Yeah. So it can dispel all inauspiciousness. Okay. So Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Kham. What is Kha? Ether.
Ether. Yeah.
Okay. Shank Kha. So what it can do is that it can purify the ether. You can purify the water by filtration and all those things, right? But how you purify the ether? Because and these are very more subtle, right? As Krishna describing about Bhumi, Rapo, Kham, Mano, Buddhi, Revacha, right? It is going from more subtler to more, more gross to more subtler, and which is invisible actually, right? You cannot even touch, feel, and all those things, right?
Yeah.
So Shankha means that which can purify the ether.
Okay.
So that's why before we do any auspicious thing, we blow the conch shell. In Bhagavad Gita, what is the first chapter? Everybody starts blowing the... Yeah, everybody has their own shank, and they blow those, they can dispel all the inauspiciousness. So it is highly recommended that if you do arati in the home, please blow the conch so that it can purify the ether or dispel all the inauspiciousness in the home.
Yeah, both conch and ghanta have the same purpose.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, good to know, Prabhu. I didn't know about bell, but yeah, surely I think this is
Also, to tell bell also to basically tell all the bad actors to leave, something like that.
So what is being said here is that, right, like various instruments are getting played, and if you all can recollect, this is the verse when and this and the refrain when it is recited or sang in our temple,
Everybody
that is when
dances.
it is the kirtan is coming to the peak.
Yeah.
And Harilas Maharaj will say like this, and
Yeah.
it hit hard, like all the mridangas hit hard, right? Everything, even people, those who don't know how to play, everybody will join the party. No instrument in the backyard, no instrument behind the Vyasasan will be left. Everything will be brought, and everybody will be start playing actually.
Yeah.
So what is this is you can see in this verse is that all these combination of these instruments are Parama Rasala. They are very sweet and relishable to hear. And as we discussed, each arati has its mood. Gaura arati is the most ecstatic arati because it happens in the evening. The mood is different, so that's why everybody is in jubilation. Everybody is enjoying that. But in the morning, as I said, Mangala arati is all about gratitude to our Guru, Kritagita. We don't play all these heavy instruments. We play, but especially harmonium we don't play in Mangalarti. So that's because we are in the mood of gratitude, right? So we want to also the mood has to match to what we want to achieve, right? So it cannot that you play loud drums and they say that I am in the mood of gratitude and things like that. So so that is what is talked about here. Now we know that by the way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't like playing harmonium. Harmonium was there even that time because under the British colonial rule, the harmonium was there in India, but he didn't like playing harmonium. Now you may wonder, but harmonium is now a very prominent instrument within ISKCON. How did that happen? So Prabhupada, when he started doing kirtan in the early days of establishing our movement, he even didn't had any of these, right?
Yeah.
Some say there is a kartal, but what we see is that he was playing the drum, right? Right.
Yeah.
There is one photo which I can share maybe in WhatsApp that he was having that and started beating it and singing Hare Krishna, and he saw everybody coming in and joining the movement. And we also know how Prabhupada made sure that utility is a principle. Whatever is a good thing in you, he saw there may be 99 bad things, but he saw one good thing in each one of his disciples and gave the instruction accordingly. Somebody say, hey, you are good in carving, sculpt the deities, build Jagannath Baladev, or you help in building Rath cart. Somebody is good in painting, you draw pastimes of Krishna. Somebody good in singing, somebody is good in cooking. So when the hippies were joining and coming his kirtan, somebody was bringing guitar and jombe, whatever, there are various instruments he was bringing. So Prabhupada saw a positive side that what is most important is joining the Sankirtan, right? If I say, hey, don't play guitar or things like that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't say, because Prabhupada is Acharya who can adjust the thing according to time and place, circumstances. Also, if you see that's why harmonium was introduced, so that many were musically talented. Vishnu Janaswami Maharaj and others, they were extremely in their Prabhu. They were coming from extremely talented musical family background. So also if you see how Prabhupada is all inclusive, right? He only saw a positive aspect in everyone. If you look at the ISKCON DT standards, it is the best, top notch. Any sampradaya within our Gaudiya sampradaya, you can see ISKCON DT worship is the best. Why? Again, Prabhupada saw the positive aspect of when Mataji's first he allowed, which has never happened in the history of that, he made Mataji's to go and worship on the altar. It has never been heard, seen. So Prabhupada did that. Second, if you see the level of the DT standards, how it has been beyond any comparison is because of the Western influence actually, especially Russians, and how Americans, they used to have their worship in the doll and other things, right? They used to do. So how much they got all these nitty-gritties in the DT worship actually. Every aspect, the small gopi dots, how you paint, how you basically put a necklace, and everything is beyond what the world has seen. So this talks about how Prabhupada was all inclusive, only seeing the positive aspect. So this is in relationship. Should we only play these instruments? But we follow Prabhupada. We are Prabhupada Anuga. So we can whatever Prabhupada has approved. It should be good for us to play during the kirtan. Okay, so this is on the verse number 5, and we already again in the refrain it is again what is mentioned is that right what the combination of all these instrument shanka ghanta is giving very sweet sound actually, and that is what has been mentioned in the refrain. You ready for the next verse? The verse number 6. So we have 2 more verses to go, verse 6 and verse 7, and then we will end this discussion. Again, we all can recite together. Ki babahu koti chandra jini vadana ujwala gala deshe banamada kori jalamala gala deshe banamada kori What is Bana means?
Forest.
In the first verse it is called as Vana, here it is Bana because in Bengali Va and Ba can be interchanged.
Okay.
Right? So Krishna is known as Vanamali, one who wears
Forest flowers.
garlands made up of forest flowers. So here, as the artis being performed various by Brahma, all the demigods are witnessing, right? All the instruments are getting played. So now the kirtan or the arati is at the pinnacle. And by seeing why did Mahaprabhu came in this world to spread the Sankirtan movement. And when he sees Sankirtan is being performed, now his beauty, but even if he's very beautiful, we are going to see that, but by seeing this, his beauty is compared to millions and millions of moons. Right? Now, there is the description of Krishna's beauty in various scriptures, but for Vaishnavas, we follow what is given in Bhagavatam, and this verse from Bhagavatam talks about Krishna's beauty. Ready? Now mediate brajavaksu tadimbaraya gunjavatam saparipichhala sanmukhaya vannesha jakke vetra vijnana venu lakshmi vishnu mridupade pashupangajaya. So this is one verse which talks about Krishna's beauty. There is there are other multiple verses which also talks about how Krishna is very beautiful, because Krishna is known as, what is Krishna? Meaning of Krishna is all attractive. So if he is all attractive, that means that his face have to be the most attractive feature. So and especially it talks about like how he is looking like a dark blue new cloud, right? Like I mean to say there are various aspects of his beauty has been mentioned, but again what is mentioned here is that like how he is again wearing the garlands of forest flowers, right? And that is making basically, this is how this verse basically describes Krishna's beauty. Similarly, Prabhupada used to say that Krishna is Madan Mohan. What does it mean? Madan Mohan means one who can attract the cupids, right? So he is so enchanting, he is so beautiful that he can attract even the cupids. Madan Mohan.
Do you know what a gunja is?
It's a gunjamala. It's a
Red berries.
yeah. It's a kind of the berries that
Red, white.
Sorry?
and-
Krishna also wear earrings of gunja?
Yeah, you can see that, right? He is somewhere. I want to say again, I'm not saying that this picture corresponds to the verse, but you can see there is a red beads. You can get it actually.
Yeah, I know Gunja Mala about
Yeah.
Gunja earrings I was not.
Yeah. So again, now who is Lord Chaitanya? He is Radha and Krishna combined. Now we saw the beauty of Krishna, and we also know that he is known as Madan Mohan, one who can even attract the cupids, enchant the cupids. Even there are various verses which talks about Radharani's beauty, but Radharani's name is not even mentioned in a straight way in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So that's why there is no equivalent of, if you are following that same thing of only keeping Srimad Bhagavatam as the standard, but for referring the reference for verses, but there is hardly any even reference of Radharani in that. There is an indirect way it is being mentioned. Okay, so this is the verse that that talk in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 4th chapter 259th verse talks about Radharani's beauty. Again, any Sanskrit Pandit who wants to give a try to chant this verse, Shiva Sharan bro, you want to give a try?
What meter is this?
Okay, you want to? Okay, come. I think come.
Shantanu will take it. Okay.
I think she wants to give a try.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Come. So Riya is now reciting the verse.
मेदूतामृतमाधुरी परिमला कल्याणि बिम्बादरो वक्त्रं पङ्कजसौरभं कुहरिता श्लाघाभिधस्ते गिरा अङ्गं चन्दनशीतलं तनुरियं सौन्दर्यसर्वस्वभा त्वामासाद्य ममेदमिन्द्रियकुलं राधे मुहुर्मोदते.
Again, on the aspects of discussing Radharani, like I don't have purity in my heart, so I'm not going to discuss all this what has been mentioned here. But what you can take a gist out of it is that how beautiful she is. And Prabhupada used to say that Madan Mohan, who used to enchant the cupids, is now getting attracted to Radharani, because Radharani beauty attracts Krishna. So what is Radharani known as?
Madan Mohan Mohini.
Madan Mohan Mohini, one who can even enchant the Madan Mohan. So this is the individual beauty description of both Krishna and Radharani. And as we know, both Radharani and Krishna combined to come together and they form Mahaprabhu. It is also mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, whenever Krishna, okay, I just want to make sure that the verse reference is right, because some of these things I was just doing my last minute, so I just want to make sure the verse reference is right. So Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 192 talks about how there is a snowball effect. Krishna sees Radharani and Radharani's beauty increases, and while seeing increase in Radharani's beauty is Krishna sees and Krishna's beauty. So you can see that. So what is happening right now is that Krishna is seeing Radharani's beauty is increasing. Now again other way. So what you see here is that the beauty of each others are increasing. This is what Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami is saying in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Both their beauties keep increasing as they glance at each other. So now that same, the combine, the two different personalities who are beauty personified, right? There is no comparison to their beauties as we saw in the verses. Now they come and take birth as Chaitanya, who is the combined incarnation of both Radharani and Krishna. So you can imagine how beautiful Mahaprabhu will be. And we can recite this verse all together. Radha Krishna Ek Atma Duha Deh Dhari Anyo vilase rasa aswadhana kari. Radha and Krishna are one and same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus, they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. So again, this is to come to a conclusion that how Mahaprabhu was beautiful. If he is compared to millions and millions of moons, then it should be true, right? Because they are the combined incarnation of Krishna and Radha, and both, and he got both their features, beauty in him actually. So now this is the last verse that we are going to discuss, which is about because in the verse 3, Brahma Adi Devagane, only they talked about Brahma, who is, because Brahma is leading the arati, so Adi Devagane, didn't mention who are the demigods who are attending the arati. Now in this verse, the first line talks about who are the other demigods, and in the last line, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is seeing something, some fortune is happening in Gaura Sampada, and we will see this. So basically, again, we didn't recite this verse. So let's recite this verse together. Kiva Shiva Sukha Narada Premi Gadagara Bhakati Vinoda Dekhe Gaura Sampada So, what has been mentioned in this verse is that Lord Shiva, Sukadeva Goswami, Narad Muni, they all are there. And by witnessing the arati of Gauranga, they are getting choked. Because what happens when during ecstasy, right, you are not able to speak, right, tears are flowing, right, so they are getting, by seeing this vision of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting in Ratna Simhasan, Brahma doing arati, all his close associates are singing and playing instruments. They are kind of counting their fortune, how fortunate they are that to witness this arati. Now, we will talk about now, as we in the last week we discussed how many of you knew about Mahaprabhu. Very few. No, none of raised our hand that we knew Mahaprabhu. So somebody may ask the question, hey, you are saying that Shiva is coming, Brahma is doing arati. Maybe it's your sentiment of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, right? So you all Bengali devotees came together and wrote something like that. How is it possible that Mahadev, Lord Shiva, is coming and standing to witness the Gaura Arati? So again, for the verse references, Srimad Bhagavatam, again I didn't give the reference, it is 11.5.33. The references, while sending by the way, I'm going to share the slides to all of you, so I'll add the references. I forgot to add this reference. Maybe we can recite this verse in a call and response way, and we will see what is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Deyam sada paribhavagnabhishtadoham
Deyam sada paribhavagnabhishtadoham
Tirthaspadam Shiva Virinchinutam Sharanyam
Tirthaspadam Shiva Virinchinutam Sharanyam
Vrityartiham Pranatapala Bhavabdipotam
Vrityartiham Pranatapala Bhavabdipotam
Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam
Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam
Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam
Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam.
So again, this is in the 11th canto, 5th chapter, 33rd verse. This is one verse before is Krishna Varnam Krishna Krishna, where the identity of Lord Chaitanya is talked about, how he comes in this age of Kali to spread the Sankirtan along with his close associates. So in this verse, it is talked about that great personality, that these demigods, who is Shivam Virinchi, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma. Virinchi is Lord Brahma, and you can see in the distance he is also standing. They are coming to take the blessings, mercy of Lord Chaitanya, and they are taking his lotus feet as the shelter. And here in this verse, it is also mentioned that that Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet is like the boat that can lead us across this Mrityu Samsara, this ocean of miseries. We can easily cross over if we can surrender to Mahaprabhu. So, so this verse is the reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, which clearly says that even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are how eager to receive the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So if we have a chance, and we all have been very fortunate to have received the mercy of Mahaprabhu through Srila Prabhupada, that we all have Gaura in our home. So how much fortunate we are that we get a chance to worship Mahaprabhu. So this is all about the demigods. It is said that, as you can see, it is not only the only named demigods in this arati came, but all the demigods, you can see everybody is coming, Kinnaras, Gandharvas, right? Vidyadharas, everybody is coming and trying to join Mahaprabhu's arati. So now the last part, the line, which is Bhakti Vinod, this is the vision that Bhakti Vinod Thakur says. And he says that Gaurara Sampada. Sampada means, what is Vipada? Misfortune.
Misfortune.
Sampada is good fortune. He is seeing what is that good fortune of Mahaprabhu that we are receiving. So, so if we are the followers of Mahaprabhu, then Mahaprabhu has given his final conclusion. And this is from Chaitanya Manjusha. This is like the topmost thing, bar for all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas that we need to follow. This is the North Star that we need to follow. Again, do you want to recite? I'm asking or requesting one of the Sanskrit Pandit, Riya, to recite this. We will do a lead and follow.
Okay. Aradhyo Bhagavan Rajeshatanayastadhama Vrindavanam.
Aradhyo Bhagavan Rajeshatanayastadhama Vrindavanam.
Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita.
Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita.
Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumarto Mahan.
Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamalam Prema Pumarto Mahan.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradaro Na Para.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradaro Na Para.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradaro Na Para. So I will read the translation. It is the conclusive opinion of Lord Chaitanya that the most worshipable form of Lord is that of Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Vrindavan Dham is the topmost worshipable abode. The highest and most pleasing type of worship of Krishna is done by Vrajagopis. Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless authority on everything, and Krishna Prema is the fifth and the highest goal of life. That's why, since it is mentioned, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam, right? So it is a spotless scripture. So that's why you see most of the references, except Radharani, came from Srimad Bhagavatam on the discussion. So Krishna says that Mahaprabhu says that Krishna Prema is the fifth. What are the other four? What we are missing? The four Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. But Mahaprabhu gave Panchama Purushartha, which is Prema. Prema, Marto Mahan. Prema should be the highest goal, because Prema, the byproduct of Prema will be the moksha that all the materialists are seeking for. So what is mentioned here is that this is Mahaprabhu's opinion, the highest that we Gaudiya Vaishnavas should look forward. Who is the worshipable form of the Lord? Krishna. And what form of Krishna? The son of Nanda Maharaj, when he is like Gopal, right? So that is the form of Lord one has to worship. And what is the topmost Dhama? Vrindavan Dham. That also includes Mayapur, because Mayapur is not different than Vrindavan Dham because of the manifestation of Srimati Radharani's energy. And Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu spent almost he only in his Leela just spent few days or just one day in Vrindavan. 1 month. But he spent almost 50% of his pastimes or his stay in Jagannath Puri. So Jagannath Puri is Vipramabha Kshetra. So and who should be our model for worship? Vrajavadus, the gopis of Vrindavan. So, and we already discussed that Srimad Bhagavatam is a spotless Purana. So this is what we have received in the Gaudiya Vaishnava. As we discussed in the previous week, we have worshipped all demigods and all avatars in our millions of lifetime. Narsimha, Varaha, whatever you may have. We have worshipped all those forms of Vishnu Tattvas many lifetimes. But worshipping Radha and Krishna together in his Vrindavan, son of Nanda Maharaj, and especially the Radharani, worship of Radharani only began after Mahaprabhu came. It has never happened. It is by mercy of, because he came to give the prema. And who has the most prema for Krishna is Radharani. So he has to take the mood of Radharani to give that prema to all of us. The first worshipable, what I heard is that the worshipable deity of Radharani is the Radharani who is along with Govind Dev in this entire universe. And also it is mentioned right here, right? Prema Pumarta Mahan. Millions of lifetime we have followed at least 3. Dharma, Artha, Kama. Some may reach to the moksha, right? Because 1,000 will try to achieve some kind of a perfection. So, but we have achieved this Purusharthas, tried for it, but this is the only life through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada that we get to know the highest. Right? If you see the cosmic manifestation, right? We are in Devi Dham. Then you have Mahesh Dham. You have Hari Dham, where all the Vaikuntha planets are there. On the top is Golok Vrindavan. If we have to go to Golok Vrindavan, we have to follow somebody who is from there. We have to follow them. Rupanugas, Ragatmika Bhaktas. Ragatmika Bhaktas. Mahaprabhu is one. Like, he has given this whole parampara, sampradaya to us actually. So that we can achieve the highest destination, which has been not possible. Krishna says that he comes once in a day of Brahma. So when Swayam Bhagavan Krishna comes once in a day of Brahma, the same Chaturyuga cycle, Lord Mahaprabhu also descends from Golok Vrindavan. In other yugas, when Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna is not descending, it is Gaur Narayan from Vaikuntha planet who descends here. So this is a rare opportunity for all of us to achieve the highest spiritual destination and the most easiest way of chanting the holy name and go back. So when Bhakti Vinod Thakur is seeing this, what we have received and how it has been preserved with so much of austerity, pain, that all our Guru Vargas have put into this. Six Goswamis, Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya, Shamanand, right? Then Jagannath Das Babaji, right? How much all our Acharya, this Gaudiya Parampara has done to maintain this. When we discuss about the lifetime of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was there were all deviations. After Mahaprabhu left, it was full of deviation. It took Bhaktivinoda Thakur many years to get one bona fide copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. With 11 children, with his demanding job, he couldn't find. Now we have every devices you can have Chaitanya Charitamrita. How it is easily accessible to us. Now, what Mahaprabhu has done, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has done, then followed by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the Lion Guru, how he fearlessly preached. Now to our Srila Prabhupada. When he wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita, he was on his busiest travel schedule on the mission to establish 108 temples. Bhagavad Gita is read by everybody, Mayavadis, Vaishnavas, and who not. Everybody reads it. Even atheistic people also read it and write their own commentary. That was a big problem of Prabhupada. That he couldn't see a bona fide English translation of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavatam, as we saw, it is the crest jewel of all the Vaishnavas. But for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So when Prabhupada was writing the Bhagavatam translation, he stopped in the middle. And he solely focused on translating Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because before Prabhupada wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita in English, it was only accessible in Bengali. So many, I think it was from 1974 to something like that. He wrote, he used to stay awake in the night. Through dictaphone, he will record the translation. Somebody will. The whole Chaitanya Charitamrita was published in a record time of few months. I think this all happened in LA and Juhu, other places. I heard this from Agnidev Prabhu, how they used to stay awake almost 16-18 hours a day. After chanting japa, they were only doing translations. And Prabhupada gave so much of expedited way to finish Chaitanya Charitamrita, compile it, print it, and get it printed. Before he wanted to wind his earthly pastime, he wanted to make sure that Chaitanya Charitamrita is finished and completed. Even Bhagavatam was stopped in the middle. So we should see how much fortune we have that coming through our parampara that we have received in this. Now, we know the Vasudev Ghosh, what he wrote, Yadi Gaur na hoito. If Lord Chaitanya would have not come, then what would have happened to us? We would have never known the glories of Radharani, Radhara Mahima. We would have never known about Radharani's glories. Now, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he wrote, Yadi Prabhupada na hoito. If Prabhupada would have not been there, where would have been? Friday night would have been in, I don't want to name any of those, like breaking all the 4 regulative principles and right, would have been there actually. Right? I mean, if Prabhupada was not there, now wherever you go, there is some form of ISKCON is present. Next week we are planning for a family vacation somewhere in Arizona. In that small place there is a ISKCON center. My brother is telling, hey, you should go there.
There are two in Arizona.
Sorry?
There are two in Arizona.
Yeah. So I'm going to say so many, it is by Prabhupada's mercy that we have received this. Now we all are here in Seattle, right? And we have so much close, we all stay so close to the temple, like we can, anytime we want, we can have the darshan of the Lord, right? Attend Mangala Arati, Gaura Arati, right? And this is all by the tireless effort of Harivilas Maharaj that we were able to get this fortune of staying so close to the temple. In fact, if you see our Gaurnita in our temple, and this I have heard from many visiting preachers, is the most beautiful form of Gaurnita you will ever find. Our Gaurnita and Radharani. The Radharani, she's really like a young gopi, like her facial expressions and like how she has been manifested in the Vigraha form is uncomparable. Like I'm going to say, how much fortune we have actually of having such a beautiful Gaurnita deities in the temple, as well as we are very fortunate that we all have received, have the fortune to worship Gaurnita. So now question here actually, anybody knows which is the first deity in ISKCON where the Gaura Arati was sang?
Seattle?
Give me some more details. Anybody on the Zoom?
I think
The question is that which deities in ISKCON first had Jai Damodar Prasad Prabhu ki Jai. So, Prabhupada, he visited Seattle September 21st or 22nd of 1968. And he almost stayed continuously for 1 month in Seattle. And this reference is there in Prabhupada Leelamrita, second part. You can see the last part, the Gaura Arati translation is given and it said that it is the first time Gaura Arati was sang in Seattle. Okay. So now I had a long desire when I moved to Seattle that when should we celebrate Brahmotsav? You know what is Brahmotsav? When the deities were first welcomed. So according to that date, you will celebrate Brahmotsav. So right now I have little luck in identifying when the first deity, our Radha Nila Madhava came. That is a long history, we can talk about it because I was curious enough and then I was trying to check with Don Prabhu. Don Prabhu is a long-standing congregational member here along with Kantimati Mataji and Srimati Mataji. So it was maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I asked them, can you please take me to all the places in Seattle where we had centers? So we had at least 3 places in Seattle. Then we were somewhere in, again if you see the Radha Nila Madhav's history, they were in Garage, Radha Nila Madhava Devidasi's home, right? So they were there in the garage and after that they moved to Ishakwa and then they later moved to here actually. So I asked Don Prabhu, can you please take me along with both Srimati Mataji and I have some video somewhere recorded actually, so complete the whole of their discussion. So I asked them, can you take to all the temples? And he took to the first place where Prabhupada came and stayed. It is right in the University District. Because at that time Prabhupada's target was all the young students, right? So that's why he established the first Yatra. Seattle Yatra started in University District and the house where Prabhupada came and stayed for a month, that house is still intact there. I'm going to say other side you can see there is a big modernization of the whole landscape, but that temple is still available. So I asked Don Prabhu, what were the deities that were there here? I was told that the only deity when Prabhupada was here was our Jagannath. That Jagannath is, according to Don Prabhu, is one of the first set of deities that was sculpted by Shyam Sundar Prabhu. He sculpted 5 Jagannath Baladev deities. This is one among them. He was not accompanied by Baladev, he was not accompanied by Subhadra. They all came later. So the first deity that witnessed Gaura Arati in ISKCON is our own Jagannath in Seattle. So we talked about यदि गौर ना होते, यदि प्रभुपाद ना होते, यदि हरिलास महाराज ना होते तो क्या होता? Right? He has, again, I try to find out again in the search of, again, there is a long history of how Radha Nila Madhav is sculpted. He is not completely solid. There is a whole, I think the organization was known as, I forgot the name. Primarily, Gauravani's biological father is the one who sculpted them actually in Topunga in California. That is the place right now where the wildfire is happening. So, so what I heard from the history is that nothing was going right here in Seattle. Our Radha Nila Madhav was even tried to be kidnapped. Attempted, there were, again, I don't know to go much details. He was already, from the altar, he was already moved and loaded on a flatbed truck to be taken to California. We were undergoing so much crisis, and as Alachua congregation was coming up, and they said that, hey, since you guys are struggling, Radha Nila Madhav was offered to move to Alachua. So if Harilas Maharaj would have been not there, we would have never had the fortune of what we are witnessing here right now in Seattle. We have a deity of Jagannath who witnessed the first Gaura Arati in ISKCON. So how much fortune we have that in Gaura Sampada that we have received here in Seattle also. So I think we all feel very, very fortunate that we have such a nice setup here in Seattle, and see how we can leverage it, and all of us can advance in our bhakti. Also, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Srinivas Sharan Prabhu for initiating this nice aspect of discussing Krishna Katha. So, next 3 weeks, I am not going to be here because I am out of the country or not here. I am planning to be in India and Kumbh Mela, where Damodar Prasad Prabhu is there right now. So, but please, you all should come together, continue this momentum, because creation is easy, destruction is easy, maintenance is the most difficult part, which is done by Vishnu. So please, it is not going to happen. This is the mood of Mahaprabhu, which is the mood of Sankirtan. Unless until we all are going to cooperate, this initiative, the success of this initiative lies in how we all can cooperate and come together and discuss here in Krishna Katha. With that, I would like to sincerely express my gratitude to all of you for patiently tolerating me, and please offer your sincere prayers. Please bless me. So I am very fragile in my Krishna consciousness. So with your prayers, I may get some strength to continue further and maybe follow all of you to go back to the highest destination that we talked about. So with that, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jai Hari Bol. So I'll use your screen for showing my face to the online people.
Oh, sure.
And speak concluding words.
Can you remove the unshare so that we can see this?
Yeah. Stop shaking.
Yeah, actually it's not allowing me to stop the share. Okay, good.
Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. So let's give a big round of applause to Rajaram Prabhu for putting a lot of time and energy. You know, he's a traveling monk. But still, he finds a lot of time in preparing these slides. You can see how rich they are. The beauty of the slides and the content, the research that has been done. It's not very easy. Okay, so let's give a big round of applause to Rajnan Prabhu by loudly saying Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So as Rajnan Prabhu said, Seattle temple was the fortunate temple where Prabhupada sang Gaura arati for the first time, right? And I think, if I am not wrong, this is the group where some katha happened on Gaura arati for the first time. Because I don't find anything on YouTube or anywhere else. There are? You saw them? Yeah, you know, I was looking for some good title for the flyer and I was searching on YouTube. I couldn't find anything. So, you know, at this level of detailed discussion on Gaura arati, I think this is the first time in ISKCON history. So again, you know, we are so fortunate to have this association. And my sincere request to all the devotees who are attending online, if we can come in person, that will be wonderful. So last week we had about 15 people in person, and as Rajran Prabhu said, creation is easy, destruction is easy. So today we have less attendance in person.
I request all of you to come in person here to Hyderabad.
To Hyderabad, yes. Yeah, book the flights for us. We don't mind.
Kumbh Mela.
We don't mind coming there. Yeah. Okay. So this will continue. Next week we have Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj, who is visiting from California. We'll have a class in the temple, and then after that we have some speakers lined up. Gaurang Chandra Prabhu is going to talk on Shikshashtakam. Chaitanya Sundar Prabhu is going to talk on Samsara Dava. And then Arjun Sakha Prabhu, he hasn't decided topic yet. And I'm going to speak on Bhishma Stuti. So we have, you know, few topics lined up. So stay tuned for further updates. And I sincerely request again to, yeah. And if you would like to host this program at your home, please let us know. You don't have to prepare any prasadam. Okay. So this program, it doesn't have any prasadam concept. And this will go on for several years. That's the reason we are not dealing with prasadam, because all the time and effort goes in dealing with prasadam and the logistics. We want to make it simple and focus more on katha. So if you would like to host at your home, no prasadam, please let us know. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. See you all in 2 weeks. Okay. Jai. Very good.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Anyone has any question, comment, reflection? Okay. Nothing else? We can wrap up the call then.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Prabhu, like in Gaurahati, when explaining, Rajam Prabhu explaining the Chaitanya tree, right? So with all the branches and all, it was fascinating to see. And also there is a reference that was told from the Bhagavad Gita, so which is a perverted, reflection, right? So when we were reading in Bhagavad Gita, it always said this tree is inverted tree. But what is the real tree, how it looks like? Can I understand this? This is the real tree in the spiritual world that we need to understand.
So even in the material world also, right? Like when when Krishna says that he talked about the Ashwatha tree being inverted, right? if you have seen near any water surface, right, if the tree is there, on the reflection you can see a tree which is like completely inverted tree of it actually. So that means that if there is an inverted tree, that means that there should be an original tree. So the original tree is there in the spiritual world, and what we are seeing is the reflection of that here as the inverted tree. So there is.
So the real tree, will it look like our Chaitanya tree? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, Prabhu. If anybody on the Zoom wants to answer, but I have no idea about that.
Yeah, that's it, Prabhu. But it has been a very encouraging and so much understanding or knowledge through these sessions. Like every time when we come here and participate in Sunday Gaura Arati, like it has been always a party mode. But we never know, without knowing meaning, we are simply singing, dancing. But today it feels so grateful and making enlightened. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you already built the mood. Now you're only knowing. You need to understand the meaning, right? Which you can get it so easily. So yeah, because the mood of Gaura Arati is to express our ecstasy, joy, right? So that's the mood. So you already have it.
And maybe sure.
Okay. Hare Krishna then everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.